Hey guys, it's me, Davis Knight. Welcome back to The Davis Knight Show. This is episode 117. I'm so glad you're here today. This show is all about building confidence, learning new things, and finding ways to be the best version of ourselves. And sometimes that means doing the right thing even when it's hard. And here's your reminder. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up as yourself every single day. So, let's do this. Segment 1, the top 5 coolest things from the Apple event. Alright, let's kick things off with some tech news. Apple just dropped a bunch of new updates, and I picked the top 5 coolest things that stand out. iOS 26 and everything announced at WWDC was officially released after being in beta testing for 2 whole months now. That's a long time. Also, the new AirPods Pro 3 and iPhone 17 were released just as how I predicted it, except there was no touchscreen on the AirPods. Oh well, at least I said it was just a prediction. Also, following the legacy of the MacBook Air and iPad Air, Apple has created the iPhone Air, which in my opinion, since I've been watching Apple events since I was 7 years old, I am more than qualified to say Apple has gotten a little lazy, especially with the 16E, which was basically ripping parts out of the 16 and calling it a masterpiece. And now this, well, at least it's a lot thinner, but not worth the $999 price tag. That's $1,000 after taxes. Apple also released new Apple Watches, the Series 11, the Ultra 3, and the SE 3. Basically the same old thing, but with a new AI workout buddy, and it gives you what's called a sleep score that tells you how good you sleep. If I were being sarcastic about it, I'd probably say, oh, it just judges your sleep, same old, and it would still be pretty accurate. And that's the rundown of everything released in the Apple event. Okay, now, it is time for U-Issues. This week, something happened that shook our country. A man, a husband, a father, and a courageous patriot, a strong believer too, lost his life in a tragic and unfair way. That man was Charlie Kirk. It's not easy to hear about things like this, but Charlie's life reminds us of something important. He stood strong for what he believed in, even when it wasn't easy. That takes real courage. Middle school can sometimes feel like that too. Sometimes telling the truth, standing up for your values, or doing the right thing when others aren't can feel really hard. But here's the reminder, doing the right thing isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Charlie Kirk's life shows us that courage matters. And it's something we can all choose every single day. So now, to honor Charlie Kirk and the incredible courage he showed, let's all take a moment of silence for him, his family, and everyone who is hurting right now. Pause. Thank you, and God bless America. Okay, now, it is time for some trivia. The first question is U.S. history themed. Who was the youngest U.S. president ever elected? A. John F. Kennedy, B. Theodore Roosevelt, C. Bill Clinton, or D. Barack Obama? I'm going to give you a minute to think. Okay, the correct answer is A. John F. Kennedy. He was elected at age 43 in 1960. Fun fact, Theodore Roosevelt was actually younger at 42, but he wasn't elected. He became president after McKinley was assassinated. Okay, now it is time for question 2, which is science themed. What part of your body keeps growing your whole life? A. Feet, B. Nose and ears, C. Hands, or D. Hair. I'm going to give you a minute to think. Okay, the correct answer is B, your nose and ears. They're made out of cartilage, which keeps growing and changing as you get older. The next question is gaming themed. In Fortnite, what item lets players safely glide down from tall heights? A, the jump pad, B, the grappler, C, the glider, or D, the Rift-to-Go? I'm going to give you a minute to think. Okay, correct answer is C, glider. In Fortnite, every player that has a glider that deploys so you don't take fall damage when you jump from the battle bus or high places that have the glider enabled. Okay, now, here is the next question. What is the loudest animal in the entire world? A, the lion, B, the howl monkey, C, the sperm whale, or D, the elephant? I'm going to give you a minute to think. Okay, the correct answer is C, the sperm whale. It clicks on 230 decibels, louder than a jet engine. That is very loud. Now time for the last question, which is Florida history themed. What Florida city is named the lightning capital of the U.S. because of its frequent storms? A, Orlando, B, Tampa, C, Miami, or D, Jacksonville? I'm going to give you a minute to think. Okay, the correct answer is B, Tampa. The Tampa Bay area gets hit with lightning more than almost anywhere else in the entire country. Now time for the fun stuff. Are you ready to smile? Drum roll, please. Okay, joke of the week. What do you call cheese that isn't yours? Any guesses? Nacho cheese. Haha, get it? Nacho and not your? That's a classic dad joke. Now time for the tech tip. Here's how to upgrade to the newest iOS version. First, back up your iPhone just in case it goes wrong. And then make sure your phone's compatible. If it's not, then no update will show up when you're ready to update. And free up storage if you need to, as updates can take up a lot of storage. And plug into Wi-Fi and power. Then go to Settings, tap General, tap Software Updates, and hit Install. And just like that, you're updated. And also, if you have the feature enabled, your device will automatically update periodically. Anyways, this episode is brought to you by Advent Health's Be a Mind Leader program. Remember, being a mind leader means choosing kindness, courage, and confidence every single day. When you lead with your mind, you lead with your heart too. If you'd like to donate, go to www.thedavisnature.com and under the About Us section, use the link to donate. Remember, all money raised goes towards destigmatizing children's mental health. Also, as a reminder, please share, like, and comment on this episode. Also, if you can, give me 5 stars. It helps me find confidence, and it helps me keep improving to make the show better with a better audience. I'm so grateful for all of you listening and supporting me so far. Thank you. That's it for episode 117 of The Davis Knight Show. Bye, everyone.